If you're tired all the time, maybe stop making excuses and start making changes. This opinion might feel like a slap in the face, but sometimes that's exactly what we need to wake up. Feeling tired isn't always about what's happening around you. It's often a reflection of the excuses that you've allowed to dictate your habits, your priorities, even your energy. Hey, everybody, welcome to the Bulletproof Mindset Podcast, where we don't shy away from telling it like it is and where we don't hide the tough times of life, our biggest flops, our darkest skeletons, and the way that we can use all of those experiences to create a bulletproof life. So, wherever you are, however you may be tuning in today, thank you for making us part of your day. I'm Thomas. I'm a certified high performance coach, a former actor, a current writer and author, and twice divorced dad of daughters who's learning every day just how to love this life better. Today, we're diving into a subject that hits a little close to home for me, and I'm sure for many of you too. Why are we so damn tired all the time? And what does it mean to cut through the noise and the excuses to start making real, impactful change in our lives? So, let's get started. Let me say it again. If you're tired all the time, maybe it's time to stop making excuses and start making changes. Let's face it, life can be exhausting. We're juggling responsibilities and emotions, past failures, and often we're just plain overwhelmed. It's easy to blame external factors, your job, your family, your circumstances, but here's the truth. Exhaustion doesn't always come from doing too much. Sometimes it comes from doing the wrong things, chasing the wrong goals, holding on to the wrong habits. Sometimes it comes from surrounding ourselves with toxic people. As Brene Brown says in her book, The Gifts of Imperfection, we can't selectively numb emotions. When we numb the painful emotions, we also numb the positive ones. Too often in my life, exhaustion stems from avoiding the hard, avoiding the necessary work of change. Because I'll tell you, 100% of change is on the other side of hard, of necessary work. What happens if you don't fix this? This is possibly the most important question I'm going to ask today, because if we don't make a conscious decision to fix our energy levels, running on empty, making excuses and ignoring the need for change, much less change itself, here's what's going to happen. Number one, your health will decline. I'm not talking about just being tired all the time. I'm talking about what chronic stress and exhaustion do to lead to real measurable health risk. Heart disease, weakened immunity systems, anxiety, depression, so many more. How valuable is your health? How valuable is your physical health, your capacity to physically get through the day with success? How valuable is your emotional health? Your capacity to show up, be present, understand, and be part of that conversation that the people in your life need you to be in. How valuable is your psychological, your spiritual well-being? And no, I'm not talking about, do you go to church every week? I'm talking about that peace, that high energy level that drives everything else that we've just talked about, the physical and the emotional. Number two, your relationships are going to suffer. Listen to me and write this down. Tired people are irritable. Tired people are irritating. I mean, come on, think about it. They're disconnected. They're less present. When you are with someone as a friend, as a partner, a person in your family, let's think about for a moment that person at work that irritates the crap out of you every single time they open their mouth. Every one of us has one of those people in our lives that fits that description. Tired people are irritable, they're disconnected, they're less present. And the more we surround ourselves with those kind of people, the more we become irritable and disconnected and less present. No one wants to be around somebody like that. Number 3, your dreams will fade. Mark my words. The more you go without fixing this issue, the less you have to apply to your dreams. When you're too tired to pursue your passions, everything in life becomes monotonous. Even the stuff that used to bring joy to you, now you find is a grind because you don't have the energy. Number 4, and this is probably the worst of all, not fixing this will create a pattern of failure in everything else in life. Your kids, your coworkers, your loved ones, they're going to see you somebody who is stuck in a cycle that they can't break free from, and sometimes who refuses to break free from it. Somebody who's not willing to recognize the need for change, and their comfort blanket is a list of excuses as to why they need to stay where they are. And I'll say this again. No one wants to be around someone like that. And if you see people in your life who were here yesterday, but today they're gone, don't ask yourself why that person left. Ask yourself, what could I have done to be more present with that person? The likelihood is, if they're the ones who left, it's probably because you refuse to change. The cost isn't just about you. The cost is the legacy you leave. How are you going to be remembered? That's legacy. Are you going to be remembered as someone who was an excuse expert? Or are you going to be someone who is going to be thought of as the person who was continually improving, continually moving forward, continually loving this life? Let me take you back a few years. It was the beginning of my second divorce. The divorce wasn't even filed yet, and I was already running on fumes. I had 2 daughters, both needing time, love, attention, presence, while I was navigating emotional wreckage, financial strain. I'd wake up tired. I'd go to bed tired. My energy was non-existent. And yet I spent most of my time during those early days scrolling on my phone. Perhaps I would find that invaluable nugget of wisdom in a late night TikTok rant. I'd binge watch Netflix, my favorite show, whatever it is, all of these things, telling myself I deserve this downtime. For everything I'm going through, I deserve this self time. Then one morning, Livy, my youngest, said to me something that changed everything. She just asked a simple question. Daddy, why are you always so tired? Kids have a way of cutting through the shit. The things that they say are not sugar-coated. They're not fluffy around the edges. They don't have some preamble that's a mile and a half long that we have to get through before we're really going to say what we want to say. They just cut to the very thing that needs to be said, right? Dad, why are you so tired? In that moment, in that instant, before I even responded to her, I realized that my excuses, blaming my workload, blaming my spouse, the divorce, my age, all of the things stacked against me, all of those things were just that. Excuses, justifications in my mind for not making an effort to change. And any one of them would have been good enough, good enough to justify why I was staying where I was staying, why I wasn't able or willing to move forward. They were just reasons that had no basis in reality. I was tired because I wasn't doing the right things for my life. I could focus on my divorce. No one's going to want me anymore. This is my second divorce. I'm washed up. I have nothing to offer, no value that doesn't outweigh the wreckage of the baggage that I'm going to be carrying around. That's where I could focus. That would be justifiable. I mean, come on, twice divorced, something's got to be wrong with him, right? Or I could focus on the one thing to be grateful for through my second divorce. I've said this in other broadcasts. I'm going to say it here again because this is actually a governor that most of us use regardless of whether we're aware of it or not. And that's this. Everything you will encounter in life, everything, will fall in one of two reactional categories. I will either look at that thing as something that happened to me, or I will look at that thing as something that is happening for me. I'm going to react to the situation as if it happened to me, or I'm going to be intentional about the situation and find out what's on the other side of this door of opportunity. I needed to focus on the one thing that I could be grateful for if I wanted to feel real change. That was my turning point. So for me, I started small. I recognized that the one thing I needed to do was get off my ass, to get active, to do something. And even though I didn't know what that horizon, that destination looked like right now, I knew that I needed to start getting in a little better shape. So I started walking every day, setting limits on my screen time of how much time I was going to spend either scrolling or just watching television. And I started to prioritize things that generated more energy instead of things that drained it. Sometimes that meant that when I got a text from my soon-to-be ex, I would not look at it immediately, especially if I was focused on something else when I got that message. Put it down for a minute, give myself time to prioritize, give myself time to breathe, and then go look at it. Instead of reacting to what other stimuli was requiring of me, I was going to be more intentional about controlling that time, prioritizing things that generated energy for me, not things that drained it. Over time, those small changes, they added up. One thing was that instead of walking 5 to 15 minutes once a day, I 4 or 5 months later found myself running twice a day for at least 40 or 45 minutes. That started really getting me into shape. I lost weight. I looked and felt better. The positive energy was being generated more and more and more. Also, limiting my screen time. Instead of just focusing on let's watch a movie together, let's play a game together. Instead of spending endless hours just being caught up in this all-consuming social media scroll that was really showing me nothing that was beneficial, give myself a limit on that time and replace that time with something that generated more positive energy, like reading a book that I wanted to read. Over time, those small changes add up, and the excuse-making version of me started to fade away. No, it didn't happen overnight, but it did happen quickly. Hey, it's Thomas, and if this episode resonates with you, I want to make sure you know about our free community, Becoming Bulletproof. It's a free community built for people just like you, people that feel stuck in the shadow of past failure or struggling just to move forward after setbacks and challenges in life. Maybe you've struggled to find a place where you can finally reclaim your identity or rebuild the confidence you've lost or find that resilience to thrive. This isn't just a community group. This is meant to be a movement, a transformative space where men and women can redefine who they are and break free from those limiting beliefs and develop habits and skills necessary to create the life they love. In Becoming Bulletproof, You're going to discover how to turn pain into power and setbacks into stepping stones. You'll find tools to build emotional resilience and clarity and confidence, even practical strategies for setting boundaries and mastering time management. I mean, who doesn't need that? Forming habits that fuel long-term growth? Bring it. Most importantly, you're going to find a community that's got your back. Every step of the way, we're going to share stories and celebrate wins together, hold each other up when we need that support to move forward. So, if you're ready to stop letting your past define who you are today and start living that creation of a future you deserve, well, this is your moment. This is your step. Join Becoming Bulletproof today. It's free and it's waiting for you. So go to becomingbulletproof.info right now and sign up for that free community. Let's do this. Together we can become bulletproof. Join today. So I'm going to share with you 3 facts that you need to know and you need to accept in order to break free from the tired all the time trap. Okay? 3 facts. Fact number 1, energy is a choice. It's not a circumstance. Research from Tony Schwartz in the Energy Project states this: energy, not time, is the fundamental currency of high performance. Did you get that? Time that you spend is not the fundamental currency. It's actually energy. Energy, not time, is the fundamental currency of a high performer. Your energy level reflects the choices you make, what you eat, how you sleep, even the thoughts that you entertain, not just the thoughts you dismiss. The skill set of being able to dismiss a thought that comes in that's negative in favor of a thought that generates more positivity. One example of this is how I swapped the late night social media scrolling for a simpler bedtime routine that included reading from a book. That one change helped me go to sleep faster and sooner in the evening, and that one thing helped me wake up feeling more rested, more present for my daughters, more present for me, more present for my job, more present for the conversation, for the interaction with my ex. Very important. All right, fact number 2. Boundaries are the shield for your energy. You have got to shield your energy. And let me be very clear here. Your energy not prioritized above every other person in what they need from you will fade. We only have so much. We're like a battery that needs to be recharged every single day. And when that battery is gone, I have nothing left. We've got to choose wisely where we spend that energy. Setting up boundaries around our energy like a shield to protect it is fact number 2 that will help you retain the energy for the right place. Dr. Henry Cloud in Boundaries, his book explains this. We change our circumstances by setting boundaries and making intentional choices. If you're always tired, I want you to ask yourself, what am I saying yes to that I should be saying no to? Energy will thrive within those limits. Just simply being intentional about identifying the things on your to-do list that can wait in favor of the one thing that you need to put energy to, that's going to make you more productive. That's going to generate more positive energy. I started saying no to unnecessary commitments in those early days of my second divorce, like work calls during family time. How many of us have that problem? That one thing gave me the mental space to recharge, to focus on what really mattered the most. And let me tell you this, and I'm not wanting to get anybody in hot water here, but if you are today sacrificing time that is family time for getting ahead at work, you will always fail. You will always fail. The day will come when you are not valued at work the way you are today. And on that day, None of those extra hours that you're spending and sacrificing family time are going to matter a hill of beans. Yet, the time you spend today investing, depositing into the relationships of your children, your partner, your friends, when that job ends, who's left? Who's left? Before I move on to fact number 3, I do want to offer you an additional resource to take this next step in your journey. It's my free ebook, The Bulletproof Mindset. This book dives deeper into the principles that we're discussing today. It's packed with strategies to help you rebuild, redefine, reclaim your identity, your life with resilience and purpose. Whether you're navigating the aftermath of a divorce like I've talked about today, or you're just coping with major loss, or just simply trying to find your footing after a failure, this book is for you. Inside, you're going to find insights on cultivating clarity, energy, courage, and influence, and the pillars of a bulletproof life. You can grab your copy free right now today at bulletproofmindset.co/ebook-mindset. Again, that's bulletproofmindset.co/ebook-mindset. It's my gift to you as you step into this stronger, more empowered version of yourself. It will be a tremendous asset and resource for you in that journey. So don't wait. Download your copy today. Start building the life that you deserve. All right, fact number 3. Small habits lead to big energy. Small habits lead to big energy. James Clear, the author of Atomic Habits, says, habits are the compound interest of self-improvement. What he means here is that small, consistent changes like that morning walk, drinking water instead of soda, journaling, less screen time, giving yourself a limit on those small changes, they compound into a stronger, more energized you. Adding a 15-minute walk every day to my morning routine in those early days, that became my anchor habit. Okay, it set the tone for my day and built the momentum for other healthy choices that I would make throughout my day. I needed that time. I needed that energy. And just that one habit that I inserted into my day helped create a domino effect that became more and more a priority and what I looked forward to, that I craved, that I wanted more of. And that 15-minute walk became a 45-minute jog over the course of several weeks. That impacted my energy to be able to take more control over my physicality, my emotional presence, all the things that I needed started with that one commitment to that one act to make a habit of it. This episode is not talking about all the things that you have to do and you got to be perfect and you've got to address everything. It's talking about what is the one thing that you need to do today to generate more positive energy in your life. What is the one thing you can stop doing today that will do the same thing? So if this episode spoke to you, I want you to consider subscribing to the Bulletproof Mindset podcast. You can do that following us on YouTube at The Bulletproof Mindset. We're also on Instagram at This Bulletproof Life. Every week, we're going to bring you more tools, more stories, more strategies to help you reclaim your energy and your identity. So let's grow, and let's grow together. There's no reason why you have to do this on your own. I've shared with you resources in our community that you do not need to do this by yourself. So don't wait another minute. Don't wait another day. Subscribe to this podcast if you haven't already, and join our online free community if you haven't done so as well. I want to thank you for tuning in today. Remember, you have the power to stop making excuses and start making changes. If this episode has helped you, I want you to share it with somebody that you care about, someone who you feel needs a little bit more energy in their life. So until next time, keep pushing forward, keep building your bulletproof mindset, and let's create the life that we deserve to live. So, see you next time, and in the meantime, remember that we're becoming bulletproof together. Have a great day.